This might be the most important question that I ask myself or encourage people to ask themselves on a frequent, monthly, maybe even weekly, definitely quarterly basis. And that is, what am I currently giving my energy to that no longer aligns with my priorities? Because we are constantly evolving and shifting. Yet we are operating on past paradigm most of the time. We're operating in an operating system that is based on old fears and outdated ways of being, because we are habitual beings. So we have habitual mindsets that we run on repeat, and they're mostly rooted in fear and rooted in uncertainty. And so we're trying to bring certainty to an uncertain world, and therefore we are actually cracking the foundation of our stability, because real stability as human beings is operating from an anchor point from within versus an anchor point on all these external factors. And so when we're operating, trying to grasp for external security, we're going to find ourselves operating inauthentically and out of control, trying to find control in an uncontrollable world. And so when we can ask ourselves these kinds of questions, we build this muscle memory of intentionality, this muscle memory of self-reflection, where we are allowing ourselves to find ourselves or meet ourselves anew every single day, which allows us to step into the energy of our higher self, of our vision, of our right relationship. But we have to start showing up every day as one step closer to that highest version of ourselves. And that means we can't operate with the same habits as yesterday. Like every day has to be a different habit. Every day has to be stepping into deeper resiliency, deeper trust, deeper intentionality. And so there's difference between intention and control. Sometimes we can try to be so intentional, but really we're trying to control our discomfort. And so there's an aspect to true security and stability in self that's deeply surrendered, deeply detached. And in that detachment, there's intentionality in being able to surrender, being able to be authentic with the uncertainty, being able to be authentic with the unknown, being able to still remain rooted in trust within ourselves, and trust even though other people will hurt you, even though challenge will happen and curveballs will be thrown at you in life. One of the greatest skills is to be able to learn that we can be flexible with the uncertainty. That one of the metaphors I like to use, or I used in sound healing last week, was if we imagine that we are a riverbed, or that we are the water flowing through the riverbed, remember that the water doesn't know that a rock is going to be up ahead. It doesn't know. But when it reaches that rock, it flows over it, around it, underneath it. It finds a way to move forward. And we are that water, right? We are that water that can maneuver around uncertain terrain and still be able to operate with flow and authenticity. That water doesn't change what it is. It does not change what it is. It changes how it moves. And so when you experience uncertainty in your relationships or in your life, change how you move. Don't change who you are. Change how you move. Don't change how you are. Change how you move. Don't change how you are. So who are you? Continue to meet yourself anew so that you recognize your ability, your resiliency to move around what is challenging, what brings up past pain, what brings up past traumas, what brings up past uncertainties, past patterning. And so we recognize that relationships are a mirror. They bring up awareness of these outdated ways of being, and we get to move around those obstacles differently every single time. And so if we are water, we are moving around an obstacle that might appear or your body might remember as like, oh, this is kind of familiar, but we move around it a different way this time. We move over it versus under it. We move around it to the right versus around it to the left. And we maybe have support, or we have somebody hold our hand versus feel isolated and alone. And maybe there's less fear that comes up this time and more of a rooted sense of trust in self. And so this is a recalibration, right? When we can start to ask ourselves, what am I giving my energy to that no longer aligns with me or aligns with my priorities? Now we start to recalibrate how we move. And so this week, start asking, how can I recalibrate how I'm moving? Maybe that's a new morning routine. Maybe that's adding a new ritual within your relationship. Maybe that's incorporating a new type of self ritual for your energy. Maybe it's getting outside more. Maybe it's sitting down without your cell phone every evening and just reading and really turning off. Maybe there's ways that you can romanticize different parts of your day that really calm your nervous system and show yourself self-love. Maybe there's a way that you could start asking questions differently within your job or within your relationship. Maybe you can put yourself out there in a new way. So how are you recalibrating based on what you're prioritizing right now? Last week, you started to ask yourself, what am I organizing my life around now that makes you feel good in this season? And when you think about that reorganization, make sure that you're taking the steps to actually release what's no longer serving. Make sure that you're like cleansing your environment, right? This is a time of cleansing your environment, and you're purifying. And that purification allows you to recalibrate. It's getting rid of the old stuff, getting like quite literally of the items that might be holding past parts of yourself or clothing or again, mindsets. And so really take inventory of what's around you in your home, in your space, in your mind, in the home of your body. What are you putting in your body? What are you feeding your body? What are your rituals around nourishing your body or moving your body? Where are you giving that energy? How are you giving that energy? And therefore you can recalibrate how you are moving through your day-to-day life, how you're moving through your relationships based on what you're telling yourself is normal or that outdated or present ways of being. So pick what's present. Don't pick what you were taught by your mom and dad or what you learned from your first relationship or what you thought was true about making money or what you thought was true about how you were valued or how you could be loved. Instead, choose the energy that is worthiness. Choose the energy that is ease. Choose the energy that is happy and free. Choose the energy that is rooted and grounded. Choose the energy that is love. Choose the energy that is creativity. Choose the energy that is abundance. Choose the energy that is peace. And when you can choose that, again, that recalibration, that reorganization happens and it's habit, right? This is the new habit then. These ways of being become the new habit. We have to train the neurological pathways to start releasing the old, and we have to give it then more of the new for it to start recalibrating and reorganizing around what's true now. So ask people to hold you accountable and say, again, what am I prioritizing right now? And therefore, what energies, what habits, what mindsets really allow me to use this muscle memory? How am I creating that on a daily basis? For me right now, that is incorporating more Tai Chi. It's incorporating lemon water every morning. It's incorporating slow movement. It's incorporating a lot of time in nature. It's incorporating time not on my phone in morning and night. It's incorporating creating my home and creating more expression through my voice. It's a lot of rooting. That is an energy of right now, rooting and expanding. I need to root to expand, and that's really cultivating my energy in a different way. It's purging the lack mindset, purging the mindsets around uncertainty and control. And so my intention is to step away from that control and into more surrender, but a deeply expressive sense of surrender where I'm rooting into my creativity, my trust. So ask yourself what's important to you in this season, because what are you trying to get towards in these next, say, 3 months? And what parts of you that you're giving your energy to or habits are you really kind of stuck in, those cycles you're stuck in that allow you to, that are creating ways of maneuvering around the rocks in your life that feel sticky and tension filled, because you get to flow around the uncertainties of life. So have a beautiful week, and I'll talk to you soon.